What the hell? I cannot see us. I hope that we are online. Are we? Yes, let's check our connection. And today, yes, what the hell? We are online. We are online. Can you imagine? We are online. It is amazing. It is amazing. And today we will talk about advanced expression, C2, to build your vocabulary. And before we will start to talk about this, I want to introduce myself. Who doesn't know my name? Who is first here? I want to remind you, my name is Alex. It is me. And we will talk today about advanced expressions because I did couple weeks ago English test on Duolingo. And maybe you know, or maybe you do not know, I have B2 level. B2 level, and after B2 you can find C1 level and already C2. And I'm so ambitious guy that I decided why not to try to look for expressions where you can build your vocabulary, like advanced vocabulary. And I think it is quite fascinating topic. And before we will start to do this fascinating topic, of course, you can support me. You can leave your like. You can subscribe to my English World, to Alex Life, and even you can find such amazing QR code. I'm too ambitious, probably. It is QR code from PayPal. You can pause video and send me $1 if you want, of course. Yes, but before, you can find other options like help me on Patreon, buy me a coffee, whatever you want, how you want, even like works. Okay, but before, yes, I said this before, let's look to our chat community, to our amazing Eagle community, and I see hello to everyone. Hello to Emma, happy to see you, Emma. Hello to Heather. Hi, happy to see you, Heather. It's so nice to see you. And yes, I want to open our live stream just to look connection. I have another angle, as you can see. It is just my experiments. I'm trying to do experiments. Okay. To be honest, this website, I didn't put this link below, maybe I should. It is called, like this channel is named Interactive English. And I was watching before from this channel videos. I was watching before and I'm like, decided why not to watch again, why do not watch again, like especially it is like wow, it is cool, it is enjoyable. And yes, hello to Sam Smith Q, and I see your message, I see it. Let's read this message. Pam where is it? I lost the message. I lost it. It's here. Now I can see completely well. English is a damn difficult language. Fortunately, we rabbits are already ready to help. Thank you. Hello to South Bear. Hello to Lori. Hello to Heather's. Yes, it is amazing. We have amazing company today. Okay, let's go. This video will be 20 minutes. Maybe in future I will add also link from original video. I think it would be nice. And when I'm thinking vocabulary right now, maybe you know, maybe you do not know, I'm trying to study Chinese. And to be honest, at first I was trying, when I was studying, because I'm studying only 1 week, I was trying to rely on Russian language. But, it's always but. Right now I changed my attitude. I changed this completely towards studying Chinese. I started to use more English because it is helping me to better understand English itself. And I decided, okay, Alex, you will do this more in English. And example, I'm watching, like example, it's helping me to find sometimes the words another meaning. It's happened already several times that English words have several meanings, and I'm understanding this like again. I knew this before, but I'm already it's in process of realization, like a second time. And that's why I decided, like, okay, if I want to grow in English, it means, what it means? What does it mean? It means that I need to watch such videos where I will be able to think about expressions, advanced expressions. And because I have amazing news for me, for you, for everyone, if it's amazing news, that I finished to read Harry Potter. It was 7 books. God damn it. Like, I was reading half of year, 6 months, and I was reading quite slowly all of them. And it means that at this moment I'm thinking about starting new books also from Vampire Diaries. It is I like fantasy. I like this sorry, bullshit. But it is always fascinating for me. And I didn't start yet to read, let's be honest, but I like this book because here you can find big size of letters. It's easier to read when letters are bigger, and you feel that you're reading faster in such a way. Wow, 1 page, oh, another page, and that's how it's happening. And plus, first book much smaller than other books which I have, and that's like quite fascinating. And if you read this book, Vampire Diaries, please share with your opinion. Today I will start to read this book. I will read maybe today 30 minutes, but it is just I'm sharing with you with my news. Okay. Yes, I see Anglophone countries need to start doing a much better job teaching other languages. I don't know one of the things, because I don't know how they're teaching languages in America. Never was. I mean, like, no, I know. I was in ESL class, but ESL class, it is not school. It is just course. No, not just course. It is important course was for me, but it is course where I was going from church, not from school, not from university, not like this. Anyway, and there I had 2 teachers, 20-30 people there was, and 2 teachers. Quite yeah, nice there was, I would say. But I was studying only half year, and right now, okay, let's jump into topic. My advice for you: to prepare coffee, tea, juice, water, vodka if you're from Russia, or if you're from Texas, or not of Texas, Mexico. Tequila? In Mexico they drink. I already forget. Looks like tequila. Anyway, I see Jamie Dreams. Happy to see you, Jamie. And as always, you say that you are driving. Fantastic. You're always driving, and it is amazing. Let's go. Let's jump. I prepared for myself just, you can see this cup from Subway, but here in reality I do not have, I just have green tea. You can see this green tea here. It is quite hot. I will drink it when it will be a little bit cooler. Okay, let's jump. Let's go.
Hey everyone, I have a great lesson for you today because we are going to talk about some common expressions. And I think these are a little more advanced expressions that you can use in a
That's what I need.
variety of situations. Now, I'm going to tell you how these expressions are used as well as when they are used.
I
And
hope that I didn't to watch this video before, because sometimes when you're starting to watch video, you can, after half, when you watched half of video, you're like, what, did I watch this before? It can happen. And you're like, no, you have doubts, and then at the end of the video you're like, yes, I watched this. But anyway, process of learning, it's always process of repeating. It is just example, you're studying. Oh, thank you. Yes, I have new haircut. I did it today. Whoa, today was so long day already. I already did haircut. Fantastic day. And yes, the process of learning, it's always, again, you're going one step forward and then one step backwards. That's how I do this. I'm studying new material, and then I'm repeating previous material, because it doesn't make sense just to, like, you need to make this clear, to memorize this clear. That's how I do. And yes, even if I watch this, I think. But thank you, Wildcat. Very cool haircut. Thank you. Hello to last one. Happy to see you. Happy to see you. And beer if you are in Europe. Yes, if you are in Europe, prepare beer like Roman. Today Roman did video. Prepare beer like Roman. But always it is important to have balance. Too much also not so good. Yeah, because we need to think about our health. Yes.
try to explain the situation, because when you think of these expressions, I don't want you to look at the individual words. I want you to think about it as a whole. I think that if you're able to try and learn these expressions as one chunk, as a single piece of information, then it'll be a little easier to comprehend, to understand, and you'll be able to use it correctly when you find yourself in a situation where these expressions are relevant. So I am going to tell you the expression. I'll give you the meaning. I will tell you and explain some of the situations in which I think you may use these expressions, or you may hear somebody else use them. And then I may throw in a few video clips here and there to help reinforce that information so that you have a better understanding. The first expression is having said that. So this is a transitional phrase.
Transitional phrase. It is like having. I have said that to you. No. Can you say that? What did I say? No. I'm trying to think where I could use this. Video like Mexico and rodeo. Yeah, video like Mexico and rodeo. Oh, hello, Lisa Marshall. Good evening, everyone, said Lisa Marshall. Good evening. Yes. And thank you, last one. I'm trying to think about where I can use having said that. Meaning. But I feel that here must be something deep. It's not something only on the top of this, but something deep down. If you will look, and you will see here something deep. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, like, probably I'm overthinking. Haven't said that. I said this before? That's what it means? Okay, let's listen.
Which means that you are using it to transition from one idea to the next. And in this case, you are transitioning basically to an opposing view. You are going to say something contradictory to what was just said. And this phrase, I think, is often found at the beginning of a sentence, and I think it's becoming more and more common in spoken English. Now, let me give you an example so you know what I mean when I say that you are trying to disagree or you're basically contrasting information that was just said. Maybe I am talking to you and I'm saying this great stuff about you, and then I want to say the opposite. So I'd say, oh, you are amazing, you're very smart, you're very hardworking, and then I'd say, having said that, and then I would say the opposite of everything I just said.
Like, you're not amazing, you're not smart, or you're not good. If it's opposite. Example. I got it. Example. Somebody is telling to me, yes, Alex, you have amazing level of English. You know so much. You did a huge work with English. But having said that, I want to give you advice to try to study more idioms. I think this is one of the things, like maybe, like example, it doesn't mean like completely opposite, but it means it's maybe I'm wrong, but it means that despite that you have example such level, or despite that you achieved something, you can take my advice and to be better. Maybe like this. It's not like too much controversial, but additional. Like despite that, I want to give that. And yes, it's just my understanding. And again, I was not thinking about such before, like meaning. And yes, thank you, Sam Smith Q, and I see your message. When one is a multilingual or anglophone, it can be fun telling of first language English. Usually monolingual speaker that I have no understanding of English. I think maybe one day I should do this. I want to tell you one thing. What's happened with me when I was sitting in a cafe. It was not cafe, it was fast food restaurant. And I was sitting with one guy. We were sitting and drinking. It was here in Houston. And we were drinking and talking, eating, stuff like this. As a result, what's happened? We were using Russian, it was a Russian guy. We were sitting, talking, and close to us there were sitting one Mexican couple. And they were like, like when we were finishing our conversation and we were ready to go outside, and they were like, sorry, can you tell please us what kind of language you use? You were talking right now, and we were like, Russian, and they're like, wow, it sounds beautiful. It sounds beautiful. And one of the things why I mentioned this to you, because pretty often people talking that in America, like Russians are like, or in Western, it is like people trying to cancel culture to do this stuff. But people giving you compliments, so like, wow, it sounds beautiful. And like, because they never heard this language. I don't know why I remember this conversation, just it popped out in my mind. Can I say this popped out in my mind? I don't know. But what I was talking about before, having said that, I need to no, I cannot use this now. I tried to use this anyway. And yes, Heather said, I do like hearing you speak Russian. It's not a language I've heard much in these parts. Yeah, thank you. These days I'm not talking so much in Russian. I mean, like, only with sometimes I'm talking with my friend, Anton. Yes. Sometimes I'm talking even, like, too much. Or with other YouTubers. I'm using Russian. Yes, okay. Having said that, let's listen other meaning of this.
Often, I
expression.
think it's used in a context in which you are, maybe you have to give somebody bad news, but before you give them the bad news, you want to say some good things about them. So let me give you an example, hopefully make this a little easier to understand. Let's say that you are applying for a job and, unfortunately, you don't get the job. And I am going to tell you this. But before I tell you, I might try to say some things that are nice about you, that are great. Because I don't want to just be mean and say, you didn't get the job, get out of here. So I might say something like, okay, you are obviously very passionate about what you do. You're hardworking. You seem like you're a responsible person. Having said that,
I think that this phrase can be like, okay, when you hear having said that, immediately you can think that, okay, all these pluses which people gave you, sometimes you can immediately forget about them. Immediately. But again, it depends from type of conversation. It depends. Because sometimes I feel that people who want to give you advice, truly give you advice, because I was receiving so many times such advices, and I'm understanding that it's not always like completely opposite. Just people want to give you the best method by their own opinion, and they're like, but I feel that you need to do this. It doesn't mean that it is right for you. I mean, like, that's people trying to help you, like, in such a way. And yes, I got it.
Contacted your previous employers and they said you were stealing from the company, so you're not going to get the job. I hope that example makes it a little easier to follow. Having said all of that stuff before, let me tell you what the opposite is. And it can go both ways. It's not just about delivering bad news. It can be used in a positive sense. So, for example, maybe you say a lot of bad and negative things to begin with. And then you say, having said that, and then you say the positive thing.
I like this guy.
Be your hero anymore.
Okay. Sure.
Having said all that, I still would like to get together on Tuesdays for bowling and alternating Sundays for general horseplay.
Recognize that Google is not a convention.
This guy he's hilarious. I watched some of his short videos, and he's hilarious.
Conventional workplace. Having said that, we have rules.
I'm over it. Completely.
Oh, this guy is sexy. Look at this. Let's change. Wow.
Having said that, it's so hard to move on.
Oh yeah, so hard. Oh my god. I feel like he looks really, look at him. He's like...
Over it. Completely.
Yeah.
Having said that, it's so hard to move on.
The next expression, and this is one of my favorites, is wishful thinking. And
one moment, before we will listen his opinion about wishful thinking, I will try to guess by myself. Here Alex a fast learner, isn't he? I would not say about myself that I am fast learner. Example, I believe, that's what I'm thinking. In studying, example, right now I have goal to study Chinese, and probably in future I would love to go to maybe because if I'm starting such goal like to study Chinese, I believe that it will take a lot of time and efforts for me to achieve these results, good results which I want. But having said that, it also means that I cannot again to use this. Having said that, how to use this? No, it's immediately difficult to use this. Having said that, anyway, I will try today several times to use having said that. Anyway, Having said that, yeah, I having said that, I think that I should go to study not only by myself, but also maybe to go to study and use maybe courses, kind of courses, Chinese courses probably. Anyway, and yes, what I wanted to tell that I'm slow learner. Everything like with English, I was studying sometimes 8-10 hours per day. I remember one summer I didn't go outside at all. I was just studying. With Chinese it will be much longer, I feel. And I'm not fast learner. I'm just putting all my time into this, at least trying to do so. Trying to think, to separate all stuff, but I'm ordinary. I have ordinary skills like everyone. Like, I'm not fast learner. I'm maybe even slow learner. That's one of the things about me. And you are the best guy for the job. However, your face is covered in tattoos, and you spent 30 years in prison for double murder. We will let you know. And yes, we will let you know. I think it is one of the signs too. Like, we will let you know. We will let you know. Yes, I think I got it. It is a fantastic example. Thank you. Wildcat example. Having said that, I cannot again to use this. Hello, Christina. Happy to see you. Hi, Alex. And hello to everyone from Christina. I think that wishful thinking, it is about desire. It is something about positive. You are to like even example. I hope that for during 2 years I will achieve intermediate level in Chinese. Or I hope that for during 2 years I will start, or for during 1 year I will start to and find my educational program. It is wishful thinking. Is it wishful thinking? Yes? Or maybe I'm thinking too straightforward. With a face like yours covered in tattoos, being a model is wishful. Gosh, thank you, Heather. Now I was thinking too straightforward, too much. With your face covered in tattoos, being a model is wishful thinking. Thank you, Heather. Now it is like more clear for me. Example, with your knowledge of English, being a teacher, it is wishful thinking. Or maybe with your experience of being translator, it is wishful thinking. Everything in one way. I mean, Alex, hope you get 100 Golden Eagle members. Or is that wishful thinking? I think it is possible. This is not a wishful thinking. I believe that through time there will be even more than 100. The most important, like, to be yourself, try to be online, and to show yourself. And that's what I'm doing now, to be honest. I'm showing myself. Yes, I'm thinking it's not wishful thinking. It is reality, which is quite possible. I wish I was a billionaire, but that is wishful thinking. It is that. That is good example. I wish I was a billionaire too, Christina. I wish. But to be honest, for me enough, I wish I I was a millionaire. I would say millionaire. But this is wishful thinking. Okay. Thank you, Christina, for such amazing example. Okay, right now let's listen explanation from this guy.
And if somebody says wishful thinking, then it means that some other person is imagining a future event that is rather unlikely, but they just wish that that is the way things were. And you could say, look, that's wishful thinking. And
I think that in my situation, what I'm trying to do, everything it's not imagination. Everything what I'm doing is achievable. Example, in future to have 100 Eagle members, it is achievable, and also to know another language like Chinese, it is also achievable, and to become like good YouTuber or maybe streamer person who is doing streams. I think it is also achievable in my situation because I'm doing streams quite goddamn often. And yes, I think it is amazing because everything, my goals, that's by learning this expression, I'm starting to understand that my goals, they're not wishful thinking, they're not imagination, they're reality which is possible to achieve. And yes, Heather said, да, я изучаю русский язык. Yes, I'm studying Russian language. It said Heather. And yeah, Heather studying, I think that you can see we have amazing community, and in our community, Eagle community, we are strong, the best one ever. We have a lot of people who is studying languages, a lot of people, including Maus the German, Heather, a lot of people in our community studying languages. Some of you studying Russian, some of you studying, like me, I'm studying English and Chinese now. Others studying, there was French, French and German probably, I believe, and Spanish. Yes, I just trying to remember who is studying which language. And by the way, talking about our Eagle members, hello to you, Brenda Snow. If you can dream it, you can do it. I love fantasy, but it is reality. I like to, because I was talking about Vampire Diaries. I love this stuff, all this bullshit how some people will tell. But for me, I love fantasy. And for me, obviously, how I said this before, studying this fantasy helping improve your imagination, and to, I don't know, somehow it is helping me to be yourself, to be a same child. And yes, I think that sometimes I have too much imagination. I mean, too much. But what I'm doing, it's realistic, and I believe in everyone in our Eagle community, and not only Eagle community. I believe in you, that you will achieve results in any language. I know that you will achieve. I believe in you, in everyone. And yes, wishful thinking. Imagine a future event that is unlikely, but one wishes it to be true. Example. Wishful thinking for me to become a great cooker, because I am terrible at cooking. I cannot cook at all. I'm terrible. Seriously. I think that it is wishful thinking. Alex, your dream of coming to this country was... Yes, and with your support, this became true. Alex, your dream of coming to this country, to the USA, was once wishful thinking. Wow, wow, it is an amazing example. It is amazing. For me, before, like when I started to study English, it was wishful thinking to speak in English without fear, fluently. And now I have some results. And now I am on the path of becoming American. I think before it was, you're right, it was wishful thinking. Right now it looks like it is more clear. Wow, it is very deep. Thank you, Sam Smith, for such amazing message. And example, it is a real example from my life. It is example from my life. Wow.
Often
Okay.
I think it's used as that statement right there, and you hear somebody talking about some situation that is unlikely, but that's what they want to happen, and then you could say, look, that's wishful thinking. That's just wishful thinking. It's not going to happen. For example, if somebody were to say, okay, I want to learn Portuguese, and I am going to start studying Portuguese, and I am going to be fluent in Portuguese by the end of the week. Give me 7 days and I will achieve fluency. And then you would look at me and
7
say,
days.
okay, that's wishful thinking.
Yes, of course, it is a complete imagination, because for 7 days to become fluent in any language, it is just impossible. You can find some people who is selling this idea, but in reality, come on, it's just impossible. God damn it. I wish I could learn any language for 7 days, but it is just wishful thinking. Okay.
It is an unlikely event. It is an unlikely future. It's probably not going to happen, but that's wishful thinking. You are just hopeful. You are optimistic that something will happen.
Anyway, can't raise a kid here. Where would you even put her?
How do you know it's a she?
Wishful thinking, I guess.
I know this actress. She was...
Anyway, can't raise a kid here. Where would you even put her?
How do you know it's a she?
Wishful.
Yes, maybe this actor, she reminds me American Horror Stories, or I don't know, американские истории ужасов, American stories of horror stories, something like this. It is this series. I know in Russian language name of this series because I love this series. I was watching them before studying English. American Story. One moment. Where is it? Let's look. American Horror Stories. Something like American Horror Story. Yeah, I love this. Yes, Sarah Paulson. She was in American Horror Story. I was watching. It is amazing. By the way, those who love this and I love this actor. I love this actor from this. Gosh, I need to watch this in English. Come on. I was watching this in Russian many years ago. But this guy, Finn Wittrock, he's amazing. And I like him, really like. I think that I should watch this in English. American Horror Story. And Sarah Paulson. I recognized her from American Horror Story. Yes. Now I know. God damn it. It is amazing. Movie or series. My advice, yeah, I believe it is her. It is she. Anyway, I think that if you watch this video or series, my advice to live like to this live stream. I don't know how I connected this, but I mentioned this to you. You can support me by like at least. Anyway, for me it is interesting to know your opinion. Did you watch this? American Horror Story. And yes, I like this. I need to rewatch this for sure. And let's look to my bucket list is wishful thinking. Oh yes, like on Amazon wish list, every time Sam Smith Q helping me like, Alex, I will support you, don't worry about this. And every time Sam Smith Q helping with me, and I'm like, wow, it is crazy. Okay. Alex, I love it when you talk dirty. I'm starting to love talk dirty. Because before, when I was using words, it was kind of unnaturally. Example, if you will compare me and Roman, and Kiefer said something, and he is swearing in English naturally because he studying English and know like already more than 10 years for sure. I am only beginner compared to him. I'm just a nobody, and I'm just doing baby steps in streaming and stuff like this. Anyway, Alex has taken to cursing very fluently. Maybe. Oh, hello, Nanny Mouse. Happy to see you, Nanny Mouse. So exciting to see you. Yeah, let's go.
Thinking, I guess.
I just hope you found some place where you could find a little peace. A place set in the cedars and oak trees. But that's probably wishful thinking.
Then we have...
I didn't get this.
Oak trees. But that's probably
She.
Wishful thinking, I guess.
I just hope you found some place where you could find a little peace. A place set in the cedars and oak trees. But that's probably wishful thinking.
Ah, yes, now I understood. I was not listening careful at first. But yes, it makes sense. Because, example, for me right now, wishful thinking, to have own apartment, it is wishful thinking. And to have own car. And as a result, of course, I know that because I'm putting on priority of my life not earning money but gaining knowledge. As a result, it's becoming wishful thinking, because usually people, when they're moving to America, they immediately starting to earn money immediately because they want to have more money. In my situation, I'm running for knowledge. I want to study another language. And that's why it is becoming more wishful thinking to have own property in my situation. And I don't know, I cannot change myself. I'm starting to talk about deep questions in life. Yeah, I mean, it is me. And, okay, let's go.
Then we have to take something for granted. And I think this is a very common expression. And what it means is that One
moment, let's read. And when someone does not fully appreciate something because they assume it will always be there and be available. To be honest, I would say that Alex, if you want your first car to be a Lamborghini, that is wishful thinking. Yes, I do not want to have a Lamborghini and stuff like this because I know I cannot afford this. But you're right. If we can imagine that I want to have such car, and I think that it is wishful thinking. And yeah, completely agree with you. It is great example. Thank you, Christina, for such amazing example, and it is helping to understand little bit better this phrase. To take something for granted. What can you take something for granted? Quality of life. Sometimes people are taking this for granted because people or Porsche, yes, Christina, or Porsche maybe. It is wishful thinking. It is too much. Yeah. Yeah, some people can take for granted even water. Like when you go to the bathroom, you have hot water and cold water, and you have opportunity to have shower for twice per day. You have such opportunity, and you're doing this successfully, and we are taking this for granted. But if we will think about some countries, you can find there places where people do not have easy access to water. And example, if you will look Mr. Beast, channel of Mr. Beast, he building sometimes charity stuff, and he is giving people help. He's helping them, and it is amazing. I think that I'm taking a lot of things for granted, but at the same time I'm reminding myself a lot of things, like, wow, such support, amazing support, which I always appreciate this. Let's be clear with this. And yes, Alex, expressing his love and enthusiasm for America makes realize how much I take for granted. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And time is so short, we take for granted. Yeah. Life is so short. Like, what we have, like, we are living, like, usually people living like 80 years, 19 years. What is 80 years of life? It's just, it will disappear pretty fast. Time is the most valuable ever thing, and that's like sometimes it is just like a sand. And of course, yeah, compared to poor countries, we take everything we have for granted. Compared to poor countries, it is true, completely.
Don't fully appreciate something because you come to assume that it will always be there and it will always be available. Mm-hmm. You could also use it when talking about a person, to take someone for granted, and it means the same thing, that you don't fully appreciate this person because you just assume that they will always be there for you. Let me give you an example. Imagine you have a car and you drive it every day, you go to work, you go shopping, you go to the grocery store, and you use it quite often. And then the car breaks down, and now you have to change your routine, and you have to take a bus or you have to walk. It takes a lot more time. Yeah. It then becomes a reminder how much easier things were with the car, that you could do things much faster, and you might think to yourself, wow, I was starting to take it for granted.
Yeah, of course, it depends in which country. In some countries, people relying on different transportation more often. Like I was relying all my life on buses and trains in Russia. It is true. And I was taking this for granted while I was in Russia because I was not studying for driving license. It was also for me a little bit expensive, like a lot for me, and as a result I was taking for granted what I had there. Here I will probably have for granted when I will have car. When I already have experience, I will, maybe after 10 years, I already see this future, like after 10 years, 5 years, I'm already American Alex, driving around the USA, and I already can see that I will take this for granted, my car, and that's interesting situation. And yeah, it is true, it is true. Sometimes we are not realizing how many things we are wishing, we are having, taking this for granted. Yes.
I completely forgot that it's a lot more challenging to have to take a bus to all of these places, and you didn't realize it until it was gone, until it was no longer available, to take something for granted or to take someone for granted.
Sure, but philosophy is about questioning things that you take for granted.
Stop complaining. New York is the greatest city in the world.
No, it's rude, obnoxious, and dirty.
You take this place for granted.
Most of us here were born in America. We take this country for granted. Not immigrants like Apu.
Then we have another expression, which I guess you could say it is also one of my favorite expressions because I use it all the time,
Okay.
and that is, keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind. I think, what can it be? What can it be? Probably keep that in mind. Try to remember this, like this. I believe that I've heard about this, but to be honest, I cannot tell that I was using this often. No. Keep that in mind. Where could you use this? Where could you use this? I don't remember. Keep that in mind. No, one of the things, it is sometimes difficult to use for me expressions at all. I don't know how.
You're telling somebody, you know, hey, keep that in mind, and what it means is that this person
Telling someone that they should be aware of something.
should be aware of something.
What?
Or maybe that, yeah,
I was thinking you need to remember this. If you like keep that in mind, I was thinking it is like remember about this, like try not to forget, but it means completely the opposite. Like be aware of something. Wow.
they should acknowledge that something exists. So you may find this expression at the end of a person's comment. They tell you what they want you to be aware of, and then just as a reminder say, look, keep that in mind. Or maybe they use it at the beginning of a statement and say something like, look, I want you to keep this in mind, and then proceed to tell you what they want you to be aware of.
Example, can you imagine? When you're starting, I'm always comparing with myself, with my goals, with my life. It's helping me to understand better what I'm doing. And yes, example, when I'm starting to study Chinese, people giving me advice like, Alex, keep in mind that you need to study hard to achieve results, to be aware of something, to be aware of difficulties with tones. And yeah, I think it is one of the things where I can use this, keep that in mind. Or example, when you are traveling to another country, example, if you are gay, if you're going to another country where, because of like rules or laws in countries, you need to keep in your mind that in this country you can go to jail because for your sexual orientation. I think it is quite a good example. Or maybe the best one. Yes. Keep that in mind. Okay.
Listen for it with me. I think I say that quite often because I'm teaching you these words and phrases, and sometimes they can be used in different ways. And I would I want you to be aware of that. And I would just tell you, look, I want you to keep that in mind.
I want you to keep that in
just,
mind.
now that I've told you that, try to listen for it. I think it's a great expression, especially when you are giving instructions, because as a teacher, I'm constantly talking to learners and trying to explain the difference between things and really help them understand a little bit better. So I would often try to remind them to be aware of something and say, keep that in mind. So when you are giving instructions, I think that is a common way in which this expression is used.
Anony Mouse, I see your message, and you said, someone goes me unasked. Go ask me unasked for advice. I usually say, I will keep that in mind. Example, people giving you unasked advice, and you will tell them, I will keep that in mind. And I don't know how to explain this. Does it mean that you will do this or not? I mean, like, does it mean that you will do this? I will keep that in mind. It's like, we will call you after interview. Like, we will call you. Something like this. I don't know. Maybe. And, oh my gosh, my eye. Yes. I think that it is happening. It can happen in life pretty often. And yes, Sam Smith Q, I know you are studying English and Chinese. Keep in mind that you still have much to learn about my mother tongue and its tish doodles. Right now, I will start to study Vampire Diaries. It sounds crazy dangerous, and I will do this quite simple. As usual, try to read and then watch already series, movies, because it is fascinating, and it is quite, maybe it's kind of drama, something like about vampires, stuff like this. I think it will be fun. And especially in my previous days when I was young, I was goth. As a result, I will like, it makes sense why you want to read these Vampire Diaries. It makes sense. Also, if we will talk about Twilight, I will have opportunity in future to read this too. Okay. And it's Anony Mouse, you said it is being polite. It is like politely say it, like to say, yeah, it makes sense. Completely agree with you. I maybe in future, but again, I cannot use everything from this list. I can understand, but while I'm talking, I cannot say that I'm able to use this. I cannot say, because it sounds like quite challenging. Can see the book behind the chat. Keep it in mind. Oh, wow. It's good. Yes, it is example. I got it.
The Volturi don't give second chance.
Twilight. I was showing like right now book from Twilight. I was watching Twilight's movies in Russian language many years ago when they were showing them. I mean, like, wow. It is good coincidence.
Way in which this expression is used.
The Volturi don't give second chances. Keep that in mind.
Keep that in mind.
The world ain't what it seems, is it, Gunny?
No, sir.
You keep that in mind.
The next expression is be that as it may.
And that's what I'm talking. Reading American classic modern literature, because Twilight's becoming like, it's like modern classic literature. The Vampire Diaries, it is helping me to have connection more with American culture, and I have a lot of gaps in American culture, like thousands of like gaps. As a result, reading these books helping me to naturalize myself somehow to have this connection. And I think it is like something that I need to do for sure.
This is another.
It's like something like a lot of maybe people who is living in America, they're taking this as granted. But for me, this cultural thing, it is not. I need to learn this to try to understand somehow them. I cannot took them for granted, because for me some cultural things, it is all something new. Example, even this phrase is from movies, from books. As a result, people taking them as granted. They're using them, but I'm not understanding them because I do not know books, I do not know these movies, and that's why I need to learn this from the beginning, and that's how it works. And yes, some people took these cultural things as granted. Yeah. Alex, I was making a joke because you are behind the chat words. However, chat clears almost immediately. I got it. Because I think that I don't know how this distance between our chat and maybe 1 minute, maybe 30 seconds. Yeah, I will keep this in mind. Can I use this? I hope I can.
Expression that is often used at the beginning of a sentence, and it's a little more formal as well. And what it means is that you use this expression when you want to say that you believe some information that you have been given, that you think it is true, but it does not change your opinion.
Be that as it may, never hear this. Never hear this. Be that it's even difficult to pronounce altogether. Be that as it may. Be that as it may. Difficult to pronounce together all this. Be that as it may. When you want to say you believe some information, again. When you want to say you believe some, again from the beginning. That's what is happening when you're not concentrated, or when you want to say you believe some information, but it does not change your opinion. You believe some information, but it does not change your opinion. Even that despite that you know that it is true, you will not change your opinion. Okay.
About some topic or some situation. So let me give you an example, and I'm trying to think of something that would be a more formal setting. Maybe a courtroom with a judge, and the judge is deciding that somebody is guilty, and they're trying to determine should they give a very strict punishment or should they give a very light punishment. And the person is trying to say, well, hey, here are some facts, here's some information to show you that I'm a good person, even though I did something wrong. And when the judge is talking to this individual, the judge may say that information, and they may say, look, yeah, you have been very helpful in your community. You have shown that you can be an honest and trustworthy individual. You've been a good friend to others. Be that as it may, you have still broken the law, and you must be punished for that.
My opinion has not changed. Okay, and I see the example from Christina. In this case, it might be hard to move you to other side of screen. In this case, so be that it may. This, to be honest, be that as it may, it is difficult for me. At this moment, it is the most difficult expression from this list for me. Be that as it may. Gosh. I will try
Once again, you are...
Oh my God, goodness. I will try to create example. One moment, I just need to think.
Basically reaffirming that it doesn't matter what information or facts that you get, it's not going to change your opinion about this topic or this situation. And remember, it is a bit more formal, and somebody is trying to say, look, I am not going to change my opinion, even though I believe all of this other information. Be that as it may, I'm not going to change my opinion.
Yeah.
All I can tell you is that I'm a different person now. Oh, great. I don't care. Be that as it may.
Be that as it may. Example, nothing will change my opinion. I believe that people should have equal rights. Nothing will change my opinion. And not like about wars, same situation. I'm always for peace. And nothing will change my opinion because I'm a peaceful guy. And that is a good examples where I can use it in conversations. But to be honest, be that as it may, it is one of the difficult phrases which we have here in this list at this moment. And meaning you have to stay there because you will obscure the guy in the video. Obscure. Yes, I got it.
I know I don't deserve your mercy or your forgiveness.
Well, I see it.
So be that as it may, stay lower right of screen. So be that as it may, stay lower right of screen. Yes, I was, by the way, I moved myself to another side because it is true. I was, like you said, obscure his figure of this guy. That's why I changed. And this phrase is not used a lot. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I didn't hear this phrase. But and difficult to use for me, to be honest. Be that as it may. It is difficult altogether somehow. Like usually when you're trying to talk, you want to speech to be smooth and like to be like a river flow, just without any effort. And be that as it may, it is difficult to put in one sentence together because you need to have some effort to pronounce this. At least I feel this. Maybe for you it feels a little bit different, but for me it feels that I need to put some effort to pronounce this.
Be that as it may.
Wow! It is Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones. I like Game of Thrones. It is in my list to watch.
I know I don't deserve your mercy or your forgiveness.
Well, I see it. I'm owed.
Be that as it may. Rickon's not yours to sell anymore.
Mayor, I am not out of control.
That as it may. I must request that for the time being you allow the city to handle its own emergency.
Then we have the expression around the clock. So in this case, it's talking about something that is continuous, that it is lasting, especially lasting 24 hours.
Around the clock refers to something that is continuous or lasting especially 20 hours a day. Example, I had constant live stream and it is around the clock.
That it is around the clock all day, every day. And this expression, I think it's often used before words like open, like, we're open around the clock. Or words like available, I'm available around the clock. You can call me anytime. My phone is always on any time of the day around the clock.
Efforts continue around the clock.
I'm working around the clock?
Yes. This is the Flash series.
I'm working around the clock.
You can call me Nikki. It will be a pleasure to serve you. I am available to you around the clock. Just let me know.
Next.
I'm available around the clock. Just let me know. Like example, I'm trying to be available around the clock. Yeah, like I'm trying to use this. Okay.
Is the expression to toss around the idea, or you could say to toss around some ideas.
To toss around some ideas. It is much more difficult to toss around some ideas. Example, you have problem and you need to find solution. Example, let's toss around some ideas. What kind of options we have? Example, when you are thinking about mathematic problem, you're talking like, let's toss some ideas. What kind of ways we have to decide this, to find solution for this problem? Yeah, it makes sense. And yeah, thank you for reminding to in our chat, Lisa Marshall, because you can support by leaving like, by leaving your comments, and also you can leave support on Buy Me a Coffee. Maybe you will be able to help me with my car. $1, it's also amazing. Also, you can send directly on PayPal. You can see screen or on screen this QR code. You can do this direct donation to me, and yes, it would be amazing. Or you can help in Patreon. Yes, thank you for the store moderator, Lisa. I want to tell you that I never using to toss around some ideas, this expression. It is something new for me, for sure. And I would say that I would never use to toss around some ideas, at this moment at least, because it is something more complicated. I'm trying to avoid complicated stuff. At this moment, it sounds, this expression sounds difficult. But again, we are talking about advanced expressions. It is C2 level. It is level of proficiency. C2 level, it is the closest level to native speaker. Yes, to native speaker. This is like C2 level. That's why it makes sense.
And this, it's a form of brainstorming, that you are just thinking about new ideas or new possibilities, usually with another person, or often with a group of people as well. If there is a group of individuals and you have to think of something, you have to come up with some new ideas, you might tell the group, you know, let's toss around some ideas.
Yes, I saw on the screen there was idea brainstorming, and Brenda Snow, you said it is brainstorming. I would never guess by myself. Thank you, Brenda Snow. I would never guess by myself that it is like brainstorming. In my mind, it is not like this. Like, but it makes sense. Now when I'm thinking about this, it makes sense. Thank you, Brenda. Because let's toss around some ideas. Let's do this brainstorming if we are talking about group of people when they have this problem in company. They have this brainstorming hour, maybe. I don't know.
Yes, let's get some ideas out there and then we'll make a decision. This expression, I think, is used a little more informally when you are talking maybe with your colleagues or friends.
Yeah,
in order to make a great decision, we need to come up with many different ideas, so let's toss around some ideas.
So you want to go over it and toss some ideas around?
No, that's okay.
That means I'm gonna go to my book editor, Melissa, and toss around some book ideas and go home, soak in the tub, drink a glass of wine.
The next expression, and I think this one is a bit more challenging, and sometimes it may even be used incorrectly, is in and of itself.
What the hell is that? In and of itself. In and of itself. Gosh. With this for sure, I have no idea what it means. Like zero. Zero. In and of itself. What can it be? In and of itself. Maybe my ears. I need to rest a little bit. In and of itself. No suggestion. Zero of them. In and of itself. Have no idea what it can be. Have no idea. Oh my gosh.
And
what's happened?
Means is that you are considering something alone that is apart from everything else. So you're referring to something that is being considered alone. Now, I will say that some people, they may think this expression is a little outdated, it's a little old-fashioned. I think that this is definitely more of an advanced expression. You may not hear it as often, but when you do, just realize that it's referring to something that is being considered alone. Let me give you an example to help you better understand.
I never heard this expression, never. In and of itself. Never. I'm trying to think and no. Maybe his example, his example
how
will
it's
help me
used.
to understand.
So I might say that a sentence like this: the rainy weather in and of itself was not the cause of the traffic jam.
The rainy weather in and of itself. It makes no sense. Was not the cause of the traffic jam. It makes no sense. Why in and of itself? But yeah, with his explanation, of course, I'm in this because it looks like the rainy weather was not the main cause of the traffic jam. It was not the main cause. The main cause maybe of traffic jam was, example, car accident. I don't know. Or maybe there was something what happened on the road. Maybe there was running marathon. In Texas you can find sometimes running marathons, and here we can see the situation. The rainy weather in and of itself was not the cause of the traffic jam. There was a running marathon in Houston. That's why there was traffic jam. Maybe like this. But again, I'm trying just to such explanation to me, to myself, helping me simplifying things, helping me to memorize it better. It's better, yes.
So there could be many causes for this traffic jam. The rainy weather, it could be one of them. It's not the only one. It could be part of this. So what I said in that sentence, I said the rainy weather in and of itself, when it's considered alone, which means that is the only thing that you are thinking of is the rainy weather, was not the cause of the traffic jam. Something else you should know about this expression is that it would often be found in the middle of the sentence, that it's going to be separated by two different commas. So you're going to say something in and of itself and then finish the sentence.
That is reverse sexism, which is in and of itself a sexist thing to do.
Summoning the Brethren Court, then. lovely hopeland.
That's a sad commentary in and of itself.
My cousin violated his parole, which in and of itself isn't good news. But we're gonna get his van until he gets out.
I did not say Stuart. I said stalwart.
Which in and of itself would be weird enough.
Next is the expression lo and behold.
Low, maybe low, W, and behold. Another expression which I do not get. Sounds. I have no idea how. I mean, like, you just have no idea with this expression. It is one of the things which I am not understanding at all. And even my imagination cannot help here. Gosh.
And when somebody uses lo and behold, they are telling...
Yeah, but I believe there's some mistake. He forget about W.
Someone something surprising that happened. This
refers to something that happens which is exciting or unexpected. Refers to something that happens which is exciting or unhappened. Lo and behold. How they connected this meaning with this phrase? I mean, how it's happened? I mean, like, it makes no sense. The more you're thinking about this, the less it's understandable for me. Okay, let's go. Maybe I should read more and I will understand this stuff better.
Expression often follows the word and. I think also that it's quite common that you would use this when you're telling a story. You're telling somebody a story and talking about some events that happened, and then you want to reveal something surprising all of a sudden, lo and behold. For example, if somebody said, wow, and I looked in the drawer, and lo and behold, I found my wallet.
Lo, I was thinking it was mistake, but it's second time, it is not without W. Lo and behold. I do not believe that he did twice mistake. It looks like it is not mistake at all. But I like how he like lo and behold. It is so like I feel that this word or like it's not finished. Somebody started to write and then he decided to do a potential mistake, and people decided to use this expression everywhere. I mean, like, how it's happened. I'm trying to understand roots of this of this expression, because lo and behold make no sense. Lo in this context means something to draw attention to, and it took attention definitely for me, because I was thinking it was mistake. It took my attention for sure, because I know low words, but law, I know lol, laughing out loud, but law, like, are you serious? Like, it took my attention for sure. Law in this context means something to draw attention to. Yes, I use lo and behold. I never used this, Brenda. Never. I mean, like, how? I mean, I first time see this. And it looks a little bit, by itself, this phrase, lo and behold. For me, it sounds like, lo and behold, how it sounds. Something, people, it is more, like, when lo and behold, it is more poetic, but at the same time, intentionally mistaken expression. Because I mean, like, because I never heard this, lo and behold. Lo and behold, lo and behold. Maybe people even can sing this sometimes, I don't know. After a long journey, lo and behold, you were crossing the international bridge from Ciudad Juarez into El Paso. But still, I'm not understanding this, still. I mean, like, it is difficult. I have been looking this recipe for 20 years, and lo and behold, again, I see two, like something two, like it's something, I see another word in this, like maybe I want to add something, like it must be two, or maybe low, something another, like first part make it like it taking all my attention. Yes. And lo and behold, I found it's in the library. Yeah. Lo is a Middle English word meaning look. It means look. If it means look, why not to say look and behold? I mean, why? I mean, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's confusing.
So if you just hear that sentence, I looked in the drawer and lo and behold, I found my wallet. What other information is that telling you? If you just hear that sentence, what it tells me, you're saying, and lo and behold, I found my wallet. It was a surprise, which tells us that this person, they were looking for their wallet. Maybe they were looking all over the place, they could not find their wallet, and they were surprised when they found it in the drawer. When you use these expressions, sometimes they help give a little more information as to the situation and what's happening. I looked in the drawer, and lo and behold, I found my wallet.
Is there any way that I could have any less respect for you two geniuses? I would have said, no, that's not possible. But lo and behold, you went and pulled it off. Congratulations.
No one would have predicted the results of the election that year. No one. Not long after the election, lo and behold, a miracle. Some believed it was the work of God himself.
Next.
Still difficult for me phrase, expression. I mean, when you are listening this expression, I'm immediately like this, you're listening list of expressions. You're feeling sometimes what kind of expressions is easier for you to use. What kind of expressions is closer to your way of thinking, because sometimes you will look at this and no, this too difficult for me. Yeah. Or maybe no, this phrase not just difficult, it is too specific, maybe. That's one of the reason when sometimes it is too specific, you like pretty easily not to use this, because it is like specific, like in a certain situation you can use this, and this situation's not so widespread, and that's why this maybe expression not so known, at least by me it is not known, and for learners who study in English I feel that it is not common, it's not on the top list of words or expressions which you need to know at the beginning. Anyway, but that's why, like it is, I want to remind you, for advanced expressions for C2 level, and that's why for me I found something new already today. Like, but I feel that even that I understood a little bit better these expressions, and I do not feel that I am ready to use them. I don't know why, maybe because it is very confusing.
Is the expression in hindsight.
What?
So this expression means that a person has gained understanding about a situation or event after it has already happened, or perhaps after it has developed.
to gain understanding about the situation after it has happened or developed. Lo yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. One of my favorite expressions is come hell or high water. What? Come hell or high water? It doesn't make any sense for me. Like come hell or high water. Gosh, it's just confusing. Have no idea what it can be. And like this one in hindsight, to gain understanding about the situation after it has happened or developed. In hindsight, example, sometimes people starting to talk about things only after everyone talked about this in hindsight. Maybe like this.
And you would often find this expression at the beginning of a sentence. Somebody might say, well, you know, in hindsight, and then talk about what should have happened, maybe how they would have changed the past, because now they have a better understanding of what was going on. For example, you could say, well, in hindsight, I should have told the truth.
I say this in hindsight. I was thinking it is truthful pronunciation. I'm correct. As you can see, I didn't know even pronunciation of this word. And Christina, thank you for this. In hindsight, I don't think that's going to happen. And as he said, you put this at the beginning of sentence. In gosh, how difficult this word is. Looking backwards, we get wiser. Sorry. Looking backwards, we get wiser. In hindsight, it was clear that there was a better way to do it. Okay.
Never should have lied about it. In hindsight, I should have told the truth. Or, in hindsight, I should have left hours before. There was no reason for me to stay at the party and stay out really late and not get any sleep. In hindsight, I should have left.
Charles and I blame ourselves. In hindsight, we weren't ready.
Please don't interrupt. You know I hate that.
In hindsight, I probably could not have picked a worse way to be honest with Mary Elizabeth.
They'll never know. In hindsight, one of us should have brought a camera.
You seem pretty hell-bent.
Oh, this is the Vampire Diaries. This guy, he's from the Vampire Diaries. And I have plans to start to study the Vampire Diaries. Come on, you can see how important for me as for learner to read and then to watch these movies, because you can see when you're learning, the people pretty often giving examples from these movies. This exactly, the Vampire Diaries.
On severing ties.
Yeah, in hindsight, that might have been a bit dramatic.
Well, it's a little late to take it back.
So again, I think it really helps to just learn these expressions as one chunk and learn their meaning.
Yes, let's look on these expressions. I will move to the left at this moment, and you can see first expression is called having said. It is first expression. Another one, wishful thinking. Yes, wishful thinking. Next one, take for granted. Okay, sometimes we are taking for granted hot water. Yes, in our pipes. Yeah, can I say so or not? Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. I found a little bit different opinion about this expression, not opinion, definition. I was thinking, keep that in mind, it's something like you need to remember this. But keep that in mind, he also said that it can be also about what? About be aware of something. Okay. Be that as it may. Be that as it may, despite everything, I will not change my mind. around the clock, we open around the clock, I'm available around the clock. Sometimes I'm trying to answer question, you're writing to me, and I'm trying to be around the, or like available around the clock, but it's not always possible. Toss around ideas. You gave this explanation, like brainwashing. And yes, in and of itself, I still don't get this. Lo and behold, I still don't get this. And in hindsight, 3 or maybe 4 of these expressions for me quite difficult. Yes. And here I see question or message from Anonymous. Question. This question. Does Buy Me a Coffee leave Alex with more donation money than YouTube? I'd considering moving my donation to Buy Me a Coffee. You can choose how you wish to do this, to support me. I mean, in Buy Me a Coffee, it's I can direct it to withdraw this, and it is quite convenient thing for me, at least. And yes, it looks like Buy Me a Coffee has less percentage, but also you can sometimes, if you have opportunity to, like in how's called PayPal, you can have there even less percentage, like of from donation. But yes, Buy Me a Coffee, there less percentage. It is true. It is true, for sure. Yeah, it is true. And it is, thank you. Yeah, Lisa Marshall, I believe so. Yeah, it looks like Buy Me a Coffee has less percentage. And of course, today I try to understand a little bit more about these expressions. What I want to tell you, my opinion about these expressions. It is quite useful pretty often to remind and try to understand a little bit more about these expressions. Every time. You sometimes think, sometimes with me it is happening, I believe that I'm understanding this expression, but listening these expressions and their definition, it is helping me to realize that in reality I do not understand so many things. And when you're truthfully trying to get deeper into meanings and definition, then you're truly starting to understand that you know so little. In my situation, it is definitely, I didn't know 5 or maybe 4, like toss around ideas, I didn't know. In and of itself, didn't know. Lo and behold, I was thinking that it was mistake at all. And in hindsight, I even didn't know correct pronunciation. That's what it is about. I know for sure that in future, if I will try to understand a little bit better and if I want to have proper English, where I'm using words and knowing, like thoughtfully, and know their definition, I think it is quality of English, of my English will change completely. And as for now, I think it was fun. For me, it was amazing fun. Hope for you it was amazing fun too. And I know that in future there will be much more opportunities to study these expressions, but it is all about process. Slow, step by step, but process. And as for now, I'm grateful that I have such opportunity to all of you. Thank you. I want to tell you that you are amazing. Believe in yourself. And I would say this, maybe try to use this expression, one of them, keep that in mind. Maybe let's use this one. Keep that in mind that in future, tomorrow we will do another live stream. And as for now, I'm wishing to be yourself. You're amazing. You're enough. I'm hugging you. If you have depression, do not have this, my advice. Keep that in mind, that it's better to be happy. I said like it's so easy anyway. I'm hugging you. Be yourself. And as always, see you next time.